All right, here we go. This is the third video on this same section, 2.5, factoring and solving. This example here is more missed than any other example. People are able to set it equals 0. Well, it's already set equals 0, so that's easy. Step number 2, the GCF. Everybody knows what the GCF, what is it? 2x, not 4. 4 doesn't go into 2. 2x is my GCF. Everybody knows that I get 4x right there. Piece of cake. The problem that they have is what to do next. They don't understand what goes after the 2x. And some people want to just finish it out and put the parentheses there and say, I pulled out a 2x. 2x over 2x, it goes away. That's not correct. That's why I'm showing you this example. When I take 2x out as my GCF, that means I divide that by 2x and I get 4x. Everybody's good there. You got the answer? What is 2x divided by 2x? It doesn't go away. What is 2x over 2x?
1.
Very good. I see a lot of you holding up 1. 1. So I have to put what's called a placeholder in there. I've got to say plus 1. It's 4x plus 1. When I pull out the GCF, and the GCF and that value are the same thing, then I'm going to get 1 in there. Okay? I'm going to get 1 in there. Okay? That's probably the most missed part of this section. People don't put the 1 in there, they don't know what to do, and they miss it. Alright? Who thinks that they can raise their hand and tell me what my 2 answers are from here on out? Without doing any work, what are my 2 answers? Waters?
0
and
negative 1 over 4.
Negative 1 over 4. Isn't that beautiful? Right? You don't have to do any work. There's your answer. What's the last step? Check it. Let's check 0. 0 goes in there, right? 8 times 0 would be 0. 2 times 0 would be 0. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 works. Piece of cake. How about negative 1/4? Is that ugly?
Yes.
Yeah. So get your calculator out. Everybody in here, get your calculator out. Type this into your calculator. Right? I don't want, every single one of you should make a 100 on the test. Okay? Especially on this section. Every single problem can be checked. Type this in. All I did was take negative 1/4 and I put it right there. And I took negative 1/4 and I put it right there. Are the parentheses important when you're typing it in your calculator?
Yes.
They're very important. I.e., you will not get it correct if you don't type in parentheses. Type the parentheses and see what you get. What do you get?
0.
You get 0. Does 0 equal 0? Yes, it does. So that means that negative 1/4 is your answer. You can check every single problem. Okay? Every single problem. Let's say that you messed up on this part and you thought the answer was negative 4. Well, when you put in negative 4 here and negative 4 here, you wouldn't get 0. You'd get some big number. Okay? And that doesn't work. Okay? The only 2 answers that work in the universe are 0 and negative 1/4. Questions?
So the number outside the parentheses, that's what you have to set the 0. But what do you do to the one, right?
This one gives you 0. You broke them up and set them equal to 0. That was old school. That takes a long time. You broke them up and set them equal to 0. That one gives you 0.
And what do you do with 4x?
You move the 1 over and then divide by that number. Okay? Yes.
It says something here.
Well, you don't put the equal 0. You just do this part. You just do this part here, hoping that you get 0. Then if it equals 0, you know that it checks. Okay? Good question. Anybody else?
So like for the second number in the parentheses, the 1, you're always going to do that thing with the, the dividing and the stuff.
If that value happens to be your GCF, or if that value happens to be your GCF, when you pull the GCF out, and it was a GCF to begin with, then you're going to get a 1. Always. Good question. Always, always, always. Okay? What if, I'm going to throw one more at you, and then we're going to do some practice problems. What if the directions said factor? And we'll do another one of these just for you. What if the directions said factor? I'm changing the directions. This is on your homework. What if the directions just said factor? What would you do? You would set it equal to 0. Then you would pull out your GCF. You would figure out your GCF, right? What's your GCF in this problem? 5x, right? You pull out your GCF. Then you would stop, right? At this point, if I can finish it out and figure out what goes in the parentheses, I'm done. I don't have to solve. I'm done. Factoring is just that. It's not solving. They're two different things. All right, who thinks that they can tell me what goes inside the parentheses? Mathis?
5x minus
5x minus 1. Exactly right. How important is the minus 1? Very important. It's like a placeholder. If you don't put that minus 1 there, you know you're going to get it wrong. Do you understand that? Okay, good. Marlo?
Alright, if you have, like 25x divided by 5x, and it's 5x, why wouldn't negative 5x divided by 5x be 1x, negative 1?
The x's cancel out, and it is negative 1. Negative 5 over 5 gives you negative 1.
I don't know why there wouldn't be x.
X over x cancels out. They go away. Good question. Anybody else? Here's a question. If the directions say solve, are you ever going to get an answer like 2x? Will the variable ever be in your answer if the directions say solve? Your answer is always going to be a number, like 0 and 3, or 1/4 and 5. Okay? The variable will never be in your answer. All right, I know you guys are anxious. Let's practice some problems. Workbook. Let's do some problems out of your workbook. Page 83. I want you to do 1 through 15 on page 83. It shouldn't take you more than about 5 or 6 minutes. Page 83, 1 through 15.